You know, from the coffee you grab in the morning to the app you just use to order dinner, there's this invisible system that's shaping pretty much every choice we make. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain on that system, the U.S. free enterprise economy.
It really all begins with a simple question, right? You see a problem, you notice something missing, and you think, what if there was a better way to do this? That little spark, that what if, is literally the beginning of an incredible journey. But how does that idea actually grow into the coffee shop on the corner or the tech company we all use?
All right, so first things first, let's unpack the basics of this system that's all around us. You've probably heard it called capitalism or the free market, but at its heart, it's really a specific design with its own set of rules and principles that make it tick.
So what does that actually mean in plain English? Well, it means prices for things aren't just set by some central committee somewhere. Instead, they come from this constant dance between what people are willing to pay for something and what businesses are willing to sell it for. That back and forth, that interaction is the very heart of the entire system.
Okay, so if this system is an engine that's driving our economy forward, what are its most essential parts? You know, what actually makes it run? We're going to dive into the 4 core pillars that really form the foundation of free enterprise.
First up is private ownership, and this is the absolute bedrock of the whole thing. It's the right for you, me, and businesses to own property, to own resources, and even to own our own ideas. Because think about it, without that, where's the incentive to build anything, create anything, or make anything better?
Next, we've got something called voluntary exchange. This one's pretty simple. It's just the freedom to buy and sell stuff. When you buy a coffee, you're voluntarily trading your money for it, because at that moment, you value the coffee more. And the seller? They value your money more. It's a win-win deal that both of you freely agree to.
And this right here, this is where things get really powerful for us, the consumers. I'm talking about competition. When businesses have to compete for your dollars, they are forced to step up their game. They have to innovate, offer better products, give you lower prices, and provide better service. Competition is what drives quality up and prices down.
And finally, there's the profit motive. This is the big incentive that really drives the whole engine. People and businesses get into the game with the hope of making a profit, which is just the money that's left over after all the bills are paid. But here's the thing, profit is so much more than just money.
Now, what's really fascinating about this idea is how it completely reframes what profit is. It's not just about getting rich, it's a signal, a message from the market. A profit basically tells a business, hey, you're doing something right. You've found a way to create something people really value, and you're doing it efficiently. A loss, on the other hand, is a clear signal that it's time to change things up.
But these pillars we've talked about, they don't just assemble themselves. The system needs a catalyst, a spark. And that spark is the entrepreneur. That's the person who's willing to gamble on a new idea and risk it all to bring that idea to life.
So let's just trace that journey for a second. An entrepreneur, they first spot a need. Maybe there's a serious lack of good lunch spots near an office park. Then comes the gamble. They take a huge financial risk, maybe pouring their life savings into opening a little cafe. They create a solution, awesome salads and sandwiches, and then they have to jump into the market and compete to win over customers. That process is what creates new jobs, new technology, and pushes the whole economy forward.
Okay, so we've got the pillars and we've got the spark, but there's this invisible foundation that holds the entire thing together. It's something you can't see, you can't touch, but without it, the whole thing just crumbles.
See, the free enterprise system isn't just some machine with gears and levers. It's a human system, and because of that, it depends completely on a shared moral framework, things like integrity, honesty, and just a fundamental level of trust between people. And I mean, just look at the difference here. It's night and day. On one side, when you have trust, the system actually works. Contracts mean something, and competition is fair. But on the other side, without trust, you get fraud, corruption, and markets that just completely fall apart. Trust is like the oil that keeps the entire engine from grinding to a halt. It's not optional. So to protect that all-important foundation of trust, the system needs a referee, somebody with a clear rulebook. And this is where the government comes in, to play its very specific and limited role.
Now, the government's job isn't to pick the winners and losers. Its job is to make sure there's a level playing field for everyone. It's there to protect private property, to enforce contracts so that a deal is a deal, and to prevent monopolies so that competition stays fair and healthy. In short, the government sets the rules of the game so that everyone has a fair shot.
And that really brings us to our final thought here. We've seen that the free enterprise system is way more than just money and markets. It's a system of human cooperation that rests on this incredible foundation of trust. So the real question I want to leave you with is this.
If trust is that essential, what's our role as consumers, as employees, as citizens in building and strengthening it every single day?